And welcome back. I'm joined live via Zoom by author Thomas Fellows to discuss whether empathy is truly a moral issue. Thomas, thank you for joining us.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thomas, just by getting to know you and reading your book, The Criminal, MLK is a big inspiration in your life. What is your favorite quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Yes, it would be, as long as diseases are rampant, I'll never be totally healthy. As long as there's poverty in the world, I will never be rich. I'll never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be.
That's a great quote. Today you want to discuss whether empathy is truly a moral issue. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, so when you look at something such as empathy, and this is what my first book was about, that I published 8 or 9 years ago, Forget Self-Help, Re-Examining the Golden Rule, I phrased it as a moral issue, but when you look at personality traits, personality traits such as agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness to experience are moderately heritable, meaning you automatically have that to an extent. And obviously, if you're very high in agreeableness, you're going to have a lot of empathy for others. According to Dr. Nasir Gami, you're also most likely going to have a high density of oxytocin receptors. So in terms of, empathy and being nice as a moral issue, I was actually somewhat wrong about that in my first book.
What is the most notable display of empathy that you've ever seen?
I would say it would be my father, who I've talked about before. I definitely look up to him a great deal because he's not only very successful, but he makes the world a better place. And probably about 1 or 2 years ago, he had heard about a secretary, a clerk who was at Peachtree Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and she passed away, and there was no memorial for her. When she had passed away, she had been working at the Peachtree Center for about 15 or 20 years, and he actually found out where her memorial was, went to her memorial, and her family and friends were so happy that he was there. As you know, my father is arguably the most famous attorney in Georgia, but he treats everybody the same as if they're made in the image of God. And Scoot Diamond from the Westminster Schools taught us to do that as well.
I know that makes you feel good that he makes the world a better place. In your words, how can we teach our children to have more empathy?
Yes, well, I would say if you look in Uncle Tom's Cabin, there's a character named Eva, and then she always says, "These things sink into my heart." And it's not because something bad is happening to her, it's because something bad is happening to somebody else. And if you look at To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch tells his daughter Scout that you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view or climb into his skin and walk around in it. And again, that has helped me, considerably in the business world as well as my own, relationships. Obviously, I can definitely be a jerk sometimes. I'll admit that, but yes.
Well, I haven't seen that part of you, but that's great that you admit your faults. It makes you a better person. Thomas, it is always great to have you on Louisiana Living.
Yes.
Happy 2026.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And up next, we'll sit down with Joanne Deal with the Better Business Bureau to talk about tax season scams and how you can avoid falling victim. That's after the break, so stay with us.